It is a great honor to be here at this debate on such an important issue. As you know, I'm coming from a region, from the territory of former Yugoslavia, that knows very well what war brings, what war leaves behind, and how hard it is to come to a certain peace plan and how to go through a post-conflict reconstruction, rehabilitation of society, what deep scars all these events leave. So the empathy and the understanding that this Ukrainian war was the most predictable and the most avoidable one really made many of us here frustrated because we knew what would happen and how hard it would be to stop the war. Until recently, until this dramatic announcement about the phone talk between Trump and Putin, many of us who spoke about peace plan, about peace by peaceful means, which is the principal foundation of the UN Charter, we were all blacklisted, we were canceled, we were called Putinist or worse. So now the only clear advantage from this peace plan that is somewhere in the cloud may give us at least an open platform to join this debate from our perspective to argue and to advocate peace solution. Honestly, I'm not sure that President Trump knows how complex is the Ukrainian conflict, and the team around him doesn't promise peace-loving or experts in conflict resolution team that would really handle this situation in a careful way. The very announcement of the phone talk actually made such an upheaval in the powers of, in the corners of power in the European countries that is shocking. Now we see that Europe has become so much militant, more militant than before. And actually the main opposition to this idea of a peace plan comes directly from NATO member countries, and even from European Union. For example, Kaja Kallas until recently argued that she would never talk to Putin because he is a war criminal. And of course, she didn't mind to talk to Netanyahu, Biden, or whoever else. So at this point, we do not know much about the so-called peace plan or how it is going to move on stage by stage. It is to expect more casualties, more provocations, and even actions that go toward what I call peace prevention. There will be actions like, for example, the false flag attack on Chernobyl or God knows what else, things that would try to portray the Russian side as the one who sabotaged the whole process. We don't know how this is going to be handled. We don't know the themes or the stage, the phases of this process. We know that at some certain point of time, Trump is going to meet Putin, probably in Saudi Arabia or elsewhere. But it means nothing, because when two people shake hands or say nice things to each other, there is still a lot of work behind. And honestly, I'm not very trustful in President Trump, who looks sometimes like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the character from a novel and a movie that we remember, because at the same time, it is a person who would easily acknowledge genocide and move 2 million Palestinians away from their homeland. And on the other side, he wants to get a Nobel Peace Prize, to present himself as a peace dealer, as an empathetic person who cares about human life and loss. So I'm very cautious about trusting, and he changes his positions day by day. The same impression I got from his new defense secretary during the recent NATO ministerial summit. And there are contradictions between the official narratives that explain the phone talk, this famous phone talk, when they come from the White House and the other from Kremlin. I'm sure that Mr. Putin knows what are his red lines, what are his demands, and I think he is quite more consistent. I'm not saying right or wrong, but he is consistent. He knows, and that is the same Russian policy since Munich conference in 2007. He warned about all this that's going on right now. So the real peace plan, as I would like to see it, should take place within the framework of the United Nations. It is very strange that we are discussing some elements and trying to detect what is between the lines of these talks and statements, but nobody even mentioned the United Nations. These two powers, United States and Russia, that are parties in the conflict, because United States actually, even I have a feeling that President Trump is trying to cover up the defeat of NATO and his own army by spelling out a peace idea, peace plan. So this is a second defeat after Afghanistan, actually. So don't get fooled by the rhetoric. Anyway, if they are honest people, they want peace, they should try to talk with their partners in the Security Council, with the 5 permanent members primarily, to persuade them that they are really determined to go through this peace process and take care, of course, of sort of a just peace for both sides, Ukrainians, what is left of Ukraine actually, and the part that already belongs to Russia, the reality on the ground. That is the only way. It will be a credible process that will take place and take care actually of humanitarian aspects, disarmament, demining, providing housing, infrastructure, and everything that is necessary. At this point, the transactional Donald Trump is actually trying to grab, to profit from the last bits that are remaining in Ukraine, their natural resources. That really doesn't sound like a peace-loving person and humanitarian one who would take care of the people on the ground. And really, I would not like to be in the shoes of the Ukrainians. They probably feel so misused, and I'm not blaming the population, to be clear. Zelensky was a clown. He was the puppet of this military industrial complex. Let's be compassionate with the Ukrainian people as well, because they're not to be blamed for the stupid role and politics of their leader. And they are supporters from the West. Thank you for your attention.